is good. Very classy. The maker of champions. The giant. WrestleMania.
I'm so sick of these people. You know. Oh, I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
I got that thing on me. I got that stick. I got that tool. I'm packing.
You must be some kind of a dumbass. And I will never retire.
You know, this aggression will not stand, man.
Get that garbage out of here. It doesn't matter what you think.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Welcome back to another edition of Friday Night Review. I am the captain for tonight. My name is Cam G. Of course, to the right of me, he always joins me for Friday Night Review. Most times, sometimes, I don't know. But our resident Jim Ross, that is Jamey Rose, and of course the man on the ones and twos of tonight. And I think this is only my like your fifth or so time being on the program. First time being the producer though. But that man is Metalcore Mike. What is going down, gentlemen, on a Friday evening?
You know, I'll say this. This is my first time producing this show. So I really, really hope I don't like mess anything up. Because I'm not used to producing. There's so many different things to producing this show opposed to the other shows that I produce. So, but I think I got it.
Not really. You just let us talk. I mean Ribbit City Radio coming at you live on your FM dial. This right here is Friday Night Review. Your boy Cam G, the hateful Jamey Rose, and introducing Metalcore Mike. What's up, guys? That's how it is. That's how it is.
Pretty much. So, but gentlemen, this was a pretty decent Smackdown, I would say so. Not their best, obviously, as an overall show. Of course, we will get into the slap heard around the world from Cody Rhodes to The Rock in the main event segment. I thought that was fantastic. But I guess we will start at the top, and we will go throughout SmackDown and see and see everything that happened with the segments and the matches. But first, of course, we saw the arrival of Rock and Roman separately. Of course, Roman came. All four of these people, like Rock, Roman, Seth, Cody, they all came to the arena, and they all had security. Like, I don't know what that was about necessarily. I guess it was just to like keep them separate from like getting in some sort of backstage altercation or whatever. So, yeah. So they all showed up with a with security, massive security guards. Rock showed up, and he looked absolutely ridiculous because the man he showed up and he threw a cowboy hat on for some reason. I mean, yeah, they're in Texas, I get it, but I don't know why he needed a cowboy hat on.
Because he's trying to get himself over.
That was weird. So I don't know, but yeah. So we saw the arrival of those four gentlemen that are supposed to be in a main event segment later tonight. So that was pretty good stuff there. But then we had the first segment, the opening segment of SmackDown. We saw Logan Paul come out and him cut a promo, and of course, he is met with the very outdated what chant throughout his promo. But of course, he's yapping. But of course, he announces that WWE and Prime are now in some sort of partnership now, and there's this gigantic Prime logo on the mat. Now, I initially thought that they were going to have the entirety of SmackDown with that logo on the mat, and I was like, I don't want to look at that the whole time. But
that's exactly what I thought. Like, I was like, are we gonna look at a Prime bottle printed on the mat this whole show? Because I've seen much better mat promotion prints in the middle of a ring. I mean, they could have done like smaller ones on the edges where like the ring posts were, like when you watch a tag match where the tag partners would be, and then have maybe like, I'm waiting for WWE to do that, like slap the WWE logo in the middle of the ring. I'm waiting for them to do that. and I have a feeling they might do it come like 2025, maybe.
Yeah.
But like slap the WWE logo in the middle of the ring, and then would have had 2 Prime bottles up top. But either way,
Like that would look good. Kind of like AEW has it with DraftKings, like on their pay-per-views. Like they're just in the corner chilling. Like that's perfectly fine with me. But what I don't want to see is Cody locked in with the figure 4 on Roman. It's WrestleMania 40, the main event, and in the middle of them, a dang Prime bottle. Like, no one wants to see that.
my question for you guys, because I know you guys watch NXT, and it's something that I'm going to be getting back into very soon here. But does NXT, their ring still have, like, is it the black mat with the NXT logo in the middle still, or did they change that?
No, they changed that.
Okay, because I know they used to have the black mat and then the NXT logo slapped in the middle, and I love that. Like, that looked awesome.
It was different. It was definitely something different from the main roster for sure. So, but no, since then they've done away with that though. It's just a white mat now.
Yeah.
But then we had Randy Orton come out. Well, first we had KSI come out, and so I don't really know what that was about necessarily. I mean, pretty sure KSI is not even a part of Prime anymore. He hasn't been since he left the company. But anyway, but then we had Randy Orton come out and cut them off. He tried to RKO Logan Paul. Logan Paul escaped. Hit a nasty RKO on KSI. KSI sold it too. I mean, he sold it pretty well for somebody who's not a wrestler. He sold it pretty well. So I liked seeing that. Of course, I like seeing the part where Randy he tries the Prime. I don't know what flavor that was. I've never seen that flavor before. And he was like, "This is pretty good. It's not bad, not bad." and then he pours it on KSI. So I liked it. It was a good fun segment, and I think this is just pushing that feud forward for WrestleMania. Probably, I'm assuming. I still think we're either going to get one of the two of either Randy and Logan for the United States title, or we're going to get a triple threat with Randy, Logan, and KO. Either way, I think it'll be a great match for WrestleMania. Good opening segment though.
I was gonna say, didn't we get back? I'm sorry for cutting off. Didn't we just have Randy a couple WrestleManias ago fighting like a fatal 4-way for the U.S. titles, like him, Bobby Roode, and like 2 other people? The U.S. title. It's like a few years ago.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I think it might have been like I feel like I'm jumping, like I'm taking just a wild guess here, but I think it was at Mania 34 for the or no, that was him and AJ, I think. I'll have to do the research, but I could have swore we seen him in a fatal 4-way for the U.S. title at Mania.
I know him and AJ fought a few WrestleManias ago. So yeah. But
yeah.
It was just a singles match. I don't think it was for a title.
Him and AJ were 35 in New York.
Yeah.
That was him and AJ. I think 34 was the fatal 4-way for the U.S. title.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't know if he's ever been in a match for the United States Championship. I could be wrong.
Well, Orton was the U.S. champion a couple years ago.
Strawberry banana.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
I don't remember that at all for some reason. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was. It was because I'm trying to remember the feud. I think him and Bobby Roode were feuding for it. And I'm looking up the event.
Oh, okay. I think
at that time, kind of, it was a hot potato between Jeff Hardy, Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode, and Randy Orton.
Yeah, and I remember Orton holding the U.S. title. So yeah, it was Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Rusev in a fatal 4-way match for the United States title at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so out of place
for
Randy.
It really is.
Well, I mean,
it really is.
If you think of it, John Cena late in his career, he had the U.S. title. I mean, he was what, 13 or 14-time world champion at the time he was doing the United States title open.
You say like late in the career,
like towards the back end of his career.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. I was saying just like group him with those group of guys, it kind of just seems a little out of place. I mean, Bobby Roode's amazing. He was a top guy in his day. No, don't want to promote your channel. Let's promote my channel, and we can do that ourselves. We don't need you. Anyways, you had Bobby Roode, top guy in TNA. Rusev, who had the potential, has the potential still. You got to figure out what's going on with him. And Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal's great, but he'll just never be a top guy.
Because I mean, before that whole United States title thing, it was Jinder Mahal and Randy, I think, for the WWE title. Like, they feuded with the WWE title, and then they went to the United States title, and it was like, okay, I mean, it's cool that they're. I think it's kind of cool that Randy Orton's in the U.S. title hunt. I mean, we're seeing
I is cool.
We're seeing as of late, like Randy Orton, AJ Styles, John Cena, like these guys that have been around for years and years that, we went through like the ruthless aggression and the PG era with, holding the world title. Now they're going for these secondary titles. And it doesn't bother me. It honestly doesn't.
Not at all. It's funny to think that's 6 years ago.
I just thought we were going to get LA Knight and Logan Paul. That's what I was looking forward to.
I thought so.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
And we've been saying it on this show for the longest time. And it's weird to see that not happen because it's the product's been so predictable for so long, and now they're finally doing something that wasn't predictable, and it's like, oh, this is nice, but it's not what we thought it'd be.
Yeah, like I said, they completely swerved us at Chamber, if you ask me, because like I said, as I said this before, but I saw Logan Paul getting eliminated and then him doing something underhanded after his elimination, preferably to LA Knight, and then getting LA Knight eliminated, and then that sets up LA Knight and Logan Paul for WrestleMania. But that didn't happen. That happened with Orton instead of Logan Paul, and then or instead of LA Knight, and then AJ Styles got involved, and then cost LA Knight. So
can we talk about how AJ Styles pulled a Matt Barnes just to show up and put a whoop into LA Knight? That was
oh yeah, that's definitely, we'll definitely get into that as well, because he cut a very,
but
very,
he still
very
drove 30 hours
promo tonight. Yes. Well, he probably flew more than likely, but but no, we'll definitely get into that though, because he cut a very, very good promo. But we'll move on. Triple H was shown after the commercial break getting one of only 10 $100 million subscriber accounts for on YouTube, the Red Diamond. There's only 10 made ever, so that's a milestone for their YouTube as well. That's great.
Million.
Next match we had Randy Orton and KO teaming up against Theory and Waller. I thought this was a good match. KO's kind of going back to that old KO from back in the day where he's talking trash to people in the ring while he's wrestling. He tells Waller, he's like nobody likes you. So I thought that was hilarious. Like it's just more over to why KO is just so great. So it was just great stuff from KO as well. Randy and KO I think work very well together. I don't really know how long that partnership lasts. I think eventually they're gonna be teaming at one point. Like we almost saw that at the end of this match. They're going to be teaming at one point, have some sort of miscommunication, and that'll set up some sort of feud between them as well, which is more over why I think we're probably going to get a triple threat match for the United States title. So the ending to the match, the pop-up RKO was nasty. I like that. That was a pretty cool tag team move by them too as well. He's
been hitting some really impressive RKOs.
Oh, yeah. I said it before, and I said it before. I haven't always, what's up, Jax? I haven't always necessarily been the biggest fan of Randy necessarily. Like I'm not like a huge Randy Orton guy. But since him coming back, it just feels different. Like he just seems more relaxed. He seems more in his element. He seems more like he's just, he just wants to go out there and just have fun. He's enjoying the moment.
He's having fun. He's having the moment. Because I mean, there's only so many of those left.
Exactly.
And it's one of those things. It's like you're gonna go out there, you're gonna have fun, and you're not gonna regret it.
I think him being told during his injury that he would potentially never wrestle again probably scared him.
Yeah.
And I think when he came back, he's like, okay, I'm soaking in every single moment. I'm gonna
Oh, yeah.
slow down and take in all of this because I don't know how many more of these I have. So, but good stuff. Of course, Logan tried to attack at the end, tried to use the brass knucks, didn't work. Randy took him from him, almost hit KO in the process. So they're kind of teasing that breakdown between them two as well. But good match, good. It was a good segue from what we had started with the opening promo from Logan Paul. Mike, do you have any thoughts on this?
I mean, like you said, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I mean, they worked really good tonight together. I'm kind of starting to like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory as a tag team. I am, and
Right as they're about to break them up.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
the thing.
I'm surprised they're not already broken up, honestly.
And especially after with what happened at Chamber.
Yeah, because Theory was just sitting there like.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? He went. It was Austin Theory who ran his mouth, and Grayson Waller was just like, you know what? Do what you gotta do, guys. Like, take whatever. He ran his mouth. Let him go. I'm starting to kind of like them as a tag team, and I wish they would keep them together because WWE they're starting. It feels like they're starting to get their tag team division built, and those two together, they fit. They literally just. I'm trying to think like mirror each other, or they work well off of each other. And hopefully they don't break them up. But great match. Like you said, Cam, possibility of a triple threat at Mania for the US title. I'm not opposed to it. I can see it happening. The other thing I can see happening is, Randy beating Logan Paul for the US title, and then we get Kevin Owens and Randy Orton somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
So either situation, I'm for.
Yeah, I see it. Up next we had Kayla Braxton, and she sat down with Bayley. Bayley obviously was asked about damage control and that whole situation going on right now, especially after the betrayal of Dakota Kai from last week. But she says that she wanted to do whatever it took to get to the top with damage control, and she wanted to make that the biggest thing that it could possibly be. And now it is backfiring on her, and she'll do whatever it takes to break damage control, as she being the one who is the one that created damage control. So I thought this was great stuff from Bayley. Obviously, like I said, even just her popping up on screen, like I said, you can hear the pop that she gets from the crowd. Like, she's massively over right now. Like, people are just behind her 100%, and I love it. I've been loving Bayley's stuff for a while now. So this is gonna be a good match. Like I said, I truly do believe that Bayley and Io, the way that this has been set up so far, has been fantastic, and I think that it would be great to see Bayley and Io main event night one. I think they deserve that. I think this feud is much bigger than what they've got on Raw with Rhea and Becky, in my opinion. The story is just better. So, any thoughts? Good.
I did think. I'm sorry, Jamie. Real quick, if you don't mind.
No, you're good.
I did think about this during that promo tonight about them main eventing, and it would be a smart move. The reason why I say that is if they open up night number one with Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman, that would be the better move to do, because if something happens to Seth, Roman, or Cody in that tag match, they have time to, like, and knock on wood, I hope it doesn't happen. I would never wish injury on somebody, but if somebody got injured, they would have time to figure out, like, are they okay to compete tomorrow night? What can we do to, help them feel better before this match? Like, that would be the best way to do it as far as putting them on. And Io and Bayley can definitely main event night.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Jamie, any thoughts on this segment?
No, I mean, both of you guys had my exact thoughts. I mean, the story with Bayley, it's one we've been seeing for a long time coming. And I think it's one of the best stories that WWE's been doing right now, as of the last year or so. And I'm really excited to see at Mania, just finally, what's y'all? That don't even make sense.
No, he said, "Holy shit, what's y'all up?" I'm gonna respond with saying "up."
What's up, Tommy?
Tommy.
I think you forgot a word in there. That's
And he forgot a exclamation point right there.
I think he just got excited. I don't know. There you go. Hey,
Hey,
there it is.
attaboy Tommy. Attaboy Tommy. I do have a question.
Go ahead.
Damn it. What is the after party?
So it's hosted by Tommy, and it's a show they talk about pretty much like the nightlife, like in like nightclub concerts,
Oh,
stuff like that. It's a very fun show.
I was on that before.
You were on it before. You were on it with me.
Yeah, I totally forgot what was going on.
Will, you were on it before.
Yeah, I forgot. A lot has happened since then, Tommy.
But the after party is on right after us, guys.
And FNR is also on Twitter, or otherwise known as the X. So if you're on the Twitch or the YouTube or wherever you're watching us, you can also join us on the X at Off the Top Media. Give us a like, a follow, and a retwizzle on this pizzle. So what's next in the Smack Dizzle?
Okay, sure. But no, from there we transitioned to backstage where Naomi was watching the sit down segment with Bailey and Kayla, and then of course Bianca comes there and she's like, "Oh, why are you watching this? Why are you watching this garbage? Why are you feeling bad for Bailey?" I don't know about you guys, but I know we talked about it a long time ago, about the potential of Bianca Belair turning heel, but then it was like, it's probably not a possibility just because of the whole thing she did at WrestleMania with all the kids and things like that. And it's kind of that Cena effect. I don't think they would turn her heel, but I don't know about that, because now it's starting to look like they might turn her heel, because and I'll tell you this, the reason why I say that is because I'm really paying attention to her attitude as of late. It's not so like chipper and babyface like I mean, you figure what it was like a month ago almost. She was back with oh god, the SmackDown GM or whoever it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, what about this this title picture? What do I get a title match? Like, and she's done that before. So to me, I feel like they're showing that because it's playing a part in wherever they're going with her character. It's kind of like she's starting to be almost like entitled, like I made the title picture. I need to be in the title picture kind of thing. Or Naomi's sitting there and she's like feeling bad for Bailey, and she's just like, well, I don't know why you feel bad for Bailey. So to me, this segment kind of looks like we're teasing a Naomi and Bianca feud, which I'm all for. So go ahead, Jamey. I'm sorry.
I hope you're right, because I mean, it would be nice to see a Bianca Naomi feud. I think that'd be great. I'd also love to see a heel Bianca. We haven't seen that since NXT, and she was great at that. I don't think WWE would ever pull the trigger. I think WWE doing stuff like that kind of shows just kind of range in her character and try to make her a little more relatable. But other than that, I don't see anything beyond it.
I mean, like I said, if we get a Bianca and Naomi feud, I think ultimately Bianca is the de facto heel in that, regardless if she's an actual heel or not. Like, people are just naturally going to love Naomi more. I mean, she just came back, so But hey, like I said, if they do this right, hopefully they do this right, they can build this up till Mania. And like I said, then we have a mid card women's match that has no title involved. There's another women's match on the card. So
I was just about to say the same thing, because we got the 2 women's world championships. We'll probably have the women's tag team titles. This would be a great mid-card match for night 1 or night 2. It would fit either way. I really hope. I mean, they're not going to throw both women's titles on night 1, but they can even it out to where one of the women's world titles can be on night 1, which would probably be Io and Bailey, and then put this mid-card. I mean, this could even be an opening match for night number 1 to get the crowd on their feet. They both have that uplifting, intro music. Get the crowd going. But it'd be great to see 4 matches on a Mania card women's matches on a Mania card, like hell yeah, I'm for it.
Absolutely. Jamey, any thoughts? I think you already gave your thoughts. I think. Jamey, you're like in and out there, in and out. Just
I think as you were
Yeah, yeah.
be aware
Sorry.
of that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But the next match though, we had Karrion Kross versus Bobby Lashley. Now again, you know, I mean this particular match I really didn't care for. I didn't really see much of it. I mean, to me, this was a get up and do anything besides watch this match. For me, it's like I liked the way this feud started, you know, with the Final Testament, and I guess the Pride is what they're going by now. Bobby Lashley's faction now with him and the Street Profits, and now I guess BFAB I guess is sort of loosely a part of that group now. I did care for it initially then, because I thought both factions could really benefit from it, especially for Karrion Kross and the newly formed Final Testament. But they just really haven't given this the spotlight that I feel like this feud really deserved. I mean, you figure weeks ago they had a 6-man tag match and the bell never rang, and then we had an interference, and then it just ended in a no contest, and it was just like, well, what was the point of this? It was a scheduled match that just never really began. So to me, I think that kind of took all of the juice out of this feud. After that, it's pretty much been flat. You know, they tried to salvage it with, you know, Karrion Kross attacking Bobby Lashley and injuring him, and him going in there and having that, you know, selling that injury in the Elimination Chamber. And I get, you know, and that's cool, whatever. That kind of keeps it alive a little bit. But this match, I mean, while it was good, I mean, they're both great competitors. I'm a big Karrion Kross guy. You know, I felt bad. I love him. I felt bad for him originally because it just seemed like it wasn't working. You know, no crowd reaction. It was not really any feuds for him. The Final Testament, when they built that, I was like, they finally have something that works for him. But it's like it's starting to lose steam if they're not going to go anywhere with this.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, I think they're trying to hold off on this match because I think they're going to get, you know, all of the competitors involved. They're going to get the Final Testament with Scarlett. I think you get Scarlett involved in a match, and I think this will be her first match in WWE, maybe in a long time or ever. I think so. I think you're going to get Scarlett involved in a match, and then you're going to get the Pride with BFAB. So you're going to get all these competitors involved. I don't know if it's going to be elimination or freaking Hell in a Cell. I don't know, but yeah, I think you're going to get some kind of match at Mania, and they need to add a stipulation because as much as we've seen this on SmackDown, we don't just need a regular plain Jane 6-man match. It's just not gonna. That's not big enough. You know, they got to add something else to make us care about this. So it was very difficult to care about this feud.
Do you know what makes us want to care about the Pride versus the Final Testament? Is you got to have a BFAB versus Paul Ellering match. That's what's going to draw you some money. I mean, the man's out there flexing 2 Hall of Fame rings.
Wow.
He's very capable, man. He's very capable.
Wow. Maybe you're right. I don't know, Jamie. I have no idea.
Come on.
Here's another thing before you go, Mike, and give your thoughts on this. Yeah. The one thing I thought was just goofy about this whole match was the fact that they said on commentary how when Karrion Kross came out and Bobby Lashley came out about how, you know, there's no Pride, there's no Final Testament, all for this match to go however long it went, 9.5 minutes or whatever, all for it to then end in a disqualification based off of the Final Testament getting involved. Why point out that there's no, you know, Final Testament members and no Pride members out here just for that to end in a disqualification? Like I thought that was just silly. I didn't understand that, but so yeah. So I don't know. I'm finding it giving it a tough time. Really caring about this feud right now.
It just gives them a way out to build it into something else when it's it's already flat.
It's an easy way out for sure. And like I said, I personally think they're just saving it for, you know, the end of this feud at Mania. So, but Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing you were as far as putting these two groups inside of Hell in a Cell. I was. As far as Final Testament and the steam, like if you go back to the early days of the Judgment Day, it took them a while to pick up steam. It did. It took them a little bit to pick up steam, especially when, Balor first took over as the leader, and then we obviously got into Rhea being the leader. But I would give this group a little more time.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will pick up steam. And as far as oh my god, what's her name?
BFAB,
What? No, the one that's with Karen Cross. Why am I
Scarlett.
Scarlett.
Scarlett? Yeah. As far as her, now I was thinking like take BFAB out and put Bianca in, and that'd be a perfect fit for Bianca to be a heel with this group. But then I'm thinking, you know what, BFAB and Scarlett, they would complement each other in the ring. Like if they had a match, they would complement each other because you don't see them in the ring very much. You don't. So they would definitely complement each other. And then the guys like the Street Profits, Lashley, AOP, and Karen Cross, they can do a 6-man steel cage or a Hell in a Cell or like a tornado tag match or something like Falls Count Anywhere. But I would definitely give Final Testament some time. I think they'll pick up steam eventually. I see early days of Judgment Day in them right now.
For sure. I see it. Yeah, I think I think BFAB that might be the potential ace here in this whole feud. We haven't really seen a whole lot of her, especially in the ring. So for all we know, I mean, she's probably at the performance center, working and getting better. So I'm looking forward to see what she can do in the ring specifically. So Scarlett I've seen in the ring a few times, so I already know that she's no slouch herself. So, but BFAB to me is the one that really can grow the most out of this feud. So I'm looking forward to what they can do. As far as the Final Testament, I hope you're right. I hope their momentum is not just being squashed here with the lack of interest or the lack of attention that this feud is getting. But we'll move forward here. Backstage, we saw Dragon Lee show up, and then he is met with Legado del Fantasma. They obviously make fun of the idea that he thinks that he is the next Rey Mysterio. Santos says that the future is Legado del Fantasma, and he says that Dragon Lee is nothing. He gets shoved, and then Carrillo pushes him to the floor. Great stuff. Like I said, I love Legado del Fantasma 2.0, I guess you could say, with the newer members. I liked them from NXT. I thought they were great. Santos is amazing. He's much better as a heel than he is babyface, if you ask me. He's just a natural, if you ask me. So yeah, good stuff here. Like I said, love Legado. Love him.
King Cuerno.
Absolutely.
Man, love Lucha Underground. Dragon Lee is the next Rey Mysterio. And I wouldn't even say he's the next Rey Mysterio. He's the first Dragon Lee. I think Dragon Lee is all that and a bag of chips. He's definitely to be your generational Hispanic superstar.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'll say this. Just like earlier when I said about Grayson Waller and
Austin Theory.
Why am I forgetting names tonight? Like, this is a problem. Austin
It's the
Theory,
Friday effect.
I think so. It's been a long 48 hours for me too, personally. So, but like I said earlier with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, like, I like them as a tag team. They are earning my fandom as a tag team. Angel Garza and Humberto, I was never a fan of them as solo guys. They're a tag team and they look good together. Just standing next to each other as a tag team, I'm like, that's a tag team. And this is a tag team I think I can get behind as a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm ready because I'll say this, I never seen them work in the ring together. I'll be honest about that because I'm just getting back on the Smackdown train. I am. It's been a while since I've been watching Smackdown. Beginning of the year, I started getting into it slowly. So I'm new to them. And they're earning my fandom. And that's what I mean by WWE's building their tag team division. And it's looking good. Keep it this way. Like, build off of this.
Slowly but surely.
Exactly. Yeah. Like,
it's looking good.
It surely is. I mean, for two tag teams that aren't very popular with the fans, and you don't hear much about them, I mean, they're catching my eye. I'm becoming a fan of them. and I want to see them work, and I want to see the tag team division get to a point to where, I mean, it's never going to be as important as like the Intercontinental title or the World's Heavyweight Championship, but they can get the tag team titles to be a little more important than like a United States title. They can. I mean, look at last year's WrestleMania. It made the titles main event at night number 1.
Yeah.
And since then, they just stalled them out on the Judgment Day. Yeah, we've seen different champions since then, like Cody and Jay, but they just pretty much like plopped them on the Judgment Day and said, all right, that's where they're going to sit for a while.
Not to get too far off topic, but I think that's solely because there was such a massive support going into that story last year's WrestleMania for the main event. I think the company just got overwhelmed. They didn't really know where to go with it from there with Sammy and KO. I just think they got overwhelmed. They didn't really know where to take it.
There wasn't much further you can go with Kevin and
not really
Sammy after they won them. There was nowhere you can really go with them. So putting them on the Judgment Day right now is kind of, as much as it sucks that they're just sit still, it still looks good and fits.
It looks good and fits. At the time, it was the perfect call. Yeah. I think by now they should have, at least, if not lost one set of the belts. And it could have been a way to progress story. It could have been a dusty finish. I mean, it could have been a good way to at least separate the belts by this point.
I agree. Well, we'll move forward here. Next match was Tiffany Stratton versus Mi Chen. There's not really a whole lot to say about this match. It was pretty much just a Tiffany Stratton showcase match, and rightfully so. Like I said, they are painting a huge spotlight on her, especially after Elimination Chamber. She's a tremendous talent. Whether you like her promos or her gimmick or whatever or not, she's fantastic in the ring. Especially since she's still pretty much in her rookie sophomore-ish season of being a wrestler. So she's fantastic. I love how she works in the ring. She tried to hit the I guess it's the BME or whatever she's calling it. She kind of like got tied up in the ropes a little bit, and instead of just throwing caution to the wind and just completely botching the move, she just reset and hit it perfectly. So I love how she just did that. She just just shows her ring awareness. Just like, all right, let me just start over. So it was perfect. So great athleticism by her, great ring awareness by her. So like I said, great stuff from Tiffany Stratton, and I'm looking forward to see what's more to come from her. So yeah.
And she'll only get better over time.
Oh, for sure. She's only going to get better, and that's what I'm excited for. So
and that's what superstars should do sometimes. I mean, if you know you're not going to be able to complete a move, like even it takes 2 seconds reset and do it. There's nothing wrong with that. You go back to Monday night, and Dom was trying to perform a move on Gunther, and he completely messed it up, and he ended up getting right to his chest because of it. Gunther was like, "What the hell, dude?" Bam. And Gunther pretty much saved the transition, But Tiffany Stratton is another one that is Elimination Chamber and tonight. I was like, okay, she's catching my eye a little bit. She is. Don't tell Sean that, but she's catching my eye a little bit.
I just like messing with Sean because Sean he
the alpha.
He puts her way too far over the moon. He's like, oh, she's gonna be the one to combine the titles. She's gonna be the one to win women's Money in the Bank. And it's like, okay, calm down, bro. She just got there.
She's gonna be Thanos with all the titles.
Yeah, like it's like okay, relax.
She did great in the chamber. She had a great showing. Her showing tonight, like you said, Cam, it showcased her. It was a quick match with Mishin. Like that was enough to showcase her and a great way to help people that aren't fans of her, like me, kind of earn it a little bit. Like I was like, okay, turn the light on a little bit.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, and I guess she's getting over it. Like I mean, like I said, she went to Australia and they're chanting Tiffy time the whole time. Like that's such a weird crowd to be over in, but hey, it works. It just WB pays attention to those kinds of things. You're getting a reaction, and that's what's important. So, but next we had AJ Styles, and he had a promo. He says LA Knight doesn't deserve to be in the same locker room as him. Says he's an overachieving, under-talented loudmouth who's deserving of a humbling, and he's a phenomenal choice. Then we cut to LA Knight watching that promo on the monitor, and he just takes a little batting practice, takes his chair, and just goes to work on a TV monitor. And I thought it was great because it just adds to his character. And I'm loving this feud right now. I think these two are in for a massive collision at WrestleMania potentially. So yeah, I'm loving it so far. I mean, I would play it up like, Styles is just off TV. He's not even in a physical altercation with LA Knight until maybe like the last week going into Mania. Like that's how you play that perfectly.
Yeah.
So I'm loving this so far.
I'll say this, just like you said, keeping AJ off TV and everything. We don't even have to see these two touch until Mania. Like it's pretty obvious we're gonna get them at Mania. Like, don't have these guys touch until we see them at Mania.
Exactly.
And they can still build their story by these promos that happen tonight. They can build a story by doing it. And
you are a loudmouth. I will humble you. Oh man. But the way that he took the pretty much batting the chair, I think the Phillies could definitely use him. Who needs Bryce Harper when you got LA Knight?
Hold on. Time out.
Yeah.
Don't go that far, sir. Don't. Please don't. Well, he can be a DH because Harp is going to start playing first, but no.
That's if Harp could stay healthy.
He'll be fine this year. That's all I'm going to say.
Jamey going for the cheap heat there.
Living the gimmick, brother. Living the gimmick.
Oh man. But moving on though, we had Dragon Lee versus Angel Garza. I guess I love the injury fake out from Garza. I thought that was great. It just plays up to his heel character and Legato. Like I said, this match was it was okay. This is where the portion of the show I felt like started to speed up a little bit. It started to feel kind of rushed because this was kind of a sloppy kind of match, and it's surprising coming from someone who's as crisp in the ring like Dragon Lee and somebody who's as crisp as Angel Garza, two top tier luchadors in the business right now. So it just felt like they were rushed and they were really crunched for time for this, hour and 30-minute ego trip from The Rock that was coming later in the program. So that's what I feel like. I feel like they were told that they didn't really have a lot of time, so they were just kind of like rushing towards it, rushing towards the end. It especially felt like that from Dragon Lee because Dragon Lee was he was just going. He wasn't really taking his time to hit moves or anything like that. He was really just kind of speeding through this. So I'm kind of disappointed just because I know the quality of a match that these two can put on, and it just felt rushed. But it was okay. I mean, they still salvaged it. They cleaned it up towards the end. Of course, Dragon Lee getting attacked from the members of Legado del Fantasma at the end. So this feud is obviously not over. Maybe hinting towards another WrestleMania match, as I've said plenty of times in this program already. So overall, a salvageable match for what it was.
Yeah. I was just surprised that they went to 2 commercial breaks during this match. That's what surprised me. For as quick as this match was, I believe they hit 2 commercial breaks for this match. I wouldn't mind seeing this one again. It would be a good match to see again. Probably, and you mentioned about going to Mania for a match between these two, correct? Mm-hmm. I really, and no disrespect to those guys whatsoever, but I really don't see it as like a main card type of thing. I could see it as like a pre-show action to kind of get the crowd fired up a little bit. I could see that. And I don't think it would be a bad placement for them.
I think the match is probably going to end up being like a Rey Mysterio versus Santos with kind of lumberjack style with everybody outside of the ring.
Yeah. I mean, I said this could be another faction wars. We could see LWO versus Legato.
Yeah.
I don't know. So either way though, like I said,
LWO and friends.
So overall, hey, what's going on, Virgo? But yeah, so overall, salvageable match for what it was. But next we had a Damage Control promo. This promo was badass. Like the music, subtitles from EO and Asuka, that was dope. I thought it just painted Damage Control to be this force to be reckoned with. Of course, Dakota Kai saying that she was always the brains when it comes to Damage Control. So I feel like this is kind of hinting towards potentially Dakota becoming the leader of Damage Control, which I'm all for because I think that'd be great. That'd be great stuff. So this was great. Like I said, love Damage Control, love what they're doing right now, and this is just adding another wrinkle to that great storyline that we have going right now with Damage Control and Bailey. Mike, Jamey, any thoughts?
Jamey, if you want to go first.
No, you go ahead, Bubba.
Okay. I mean, like we talked about earlier, Io and Bailey being the main event of night number 1 would definitely be a perfect fit. I mean, are they still using the Damage Control name? Because I don't look at them as Damage Control anymore. I look at them as, the Kabuki Warriors with Dakota Kai. That's what I look at them as. When with Bailey out of the picture, I cannot look at them as Damage Control because Bailey was the one when Damage Control came in. Like they pretty much used Bailey's logo like font, but it said Damage Control. Like they used like the black and yellow, which were like her. She used those colors. And like they used everything Bailey and threw Damage Control on it. I can't see it anymore without. Like I can't call them that without Bailey. Huh?
I mean, I can understand that. But I think I definitely think they're still going with Damage Control name. But see, you gotta think about it like this: with Dakota saying that she is or always was the brains of the operation, essentially, they could easily play that up like they stole the name or the idea or the creation from Bailey. You know what I mean? Like Bailey might have been the one that started it, but with Dakota saying she was the brains, she's basically saying like I was the true like de facto leader of this whole thing in the background. You just I just took a back seat and just let you feel like you were the leader. So they could play it up like that too.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
But overall though, I'm liking this, and I'm loving a heel Dakota Kai. I'm a big Dakota Kai person, and I think she's better as a heel than she is as a face.
Her run in NXT was so underrated.
Oh, dude, it doesn't get talked about enough. It
like
was
her and Raquel, it was
amazing. It was amazing. Her and Tegan Knox when she turned on Tegan Knox was amazing.
I remember Dakota turning on Tegan. That was around the last time I really watched deep into NXT. Like I watched NXT up until the pandemic. Once the pandemic hit, that's when I kind of calmed down on NXT. The last show I really remember watching was the awards, like when Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole won Feud of the Year. Like they did a little reward show inside the PC, no crowd, and you had Triple H. It was Triple H standing in the middle of the ring, handing the awards out, and they would come out and talk, accept their awards. That's really the last NXT show I remember watching. I am super excited to get back into it, though. I am because I'm hearing great things about it.
Dude, that last NXT show they did for NXT Roadblock was amazing. So amazing.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. I like it. Whoop that.
I'm honestly excited to see Dakota Kai. Hopefully she gets back into action soon. Because I ultimately want to see Bailey and Dakota.
Yes.
I think that'd be a banger.
They're building this up for us to see up Bailey and Dakota. With or without the title on the line. Don't care. I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I think it'd be
I'm 100% pulling for Dakota. I'm sorry.
Same.
That's fair. That's fair. Like I said, I like Dakota, so.
I mean, even if it has to be a non-title match for her to win, yeah.
Yeah, I think the only way you advance this feud after WrestleMania, if they decide to go that route, and you want an even more intense feud out of the Damage Control feud, you transition to Dakota and Bailey. I think that's an even bigger money match than we're getting with Bailey and Io. But lastly, before we get into the main event segment, we saw general manager Nick Aldis, and he's looking for Cody and Seth, and Cody and Seth were not there in the locker room. Not quite sure what that was about. Well, actually, yes, I do. We're gonna get into that here in a second. So, but they weren't in the locker rooms, and of course, he's looking for them or whatever. But now we're getting into the main event segment with Cody, Rock, Roman, and Seth. And Roman comes out, he makes his traditional entrance or whatever. Then the Rock comes out, he has his entrance. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, his entrance tonight was actually pretty sick with like the lightning and stuff. That was pretty sick.
That was
like,
dope.
That the new like theatrics they've added to his entrance is actually pretty sick. I ain't gonna lie. And then of course Cody and Seth come out, and they come out like basically Shield style. They came out. What was that? The Rock?
Yeah.
Sick. And then so but the Cody and Seth come out, and they pretty much come out Shield style, and they come out through the crowd. So that was pretty sick as well. Like I said, the pop that Cody and Seth got, I think, were much better than what the Rock got. But overall, like I said, I thought this was a great segment for what it was. And of course, like I said, the slap heard round the world. Cody slapping the taste out of Rock's mouth. Love it. Amazing stuff.
I'll say this, that I mean, we obviously got some of the same stuff from The Rock. Some of the same stuff was said, name calling and stuff like that. And I said it to you guys before the show. Like, I feel like that slap, honestly, just a simple slap, I feel like kind of saved that segment in a sense. It did. I feel like it did, because we're getting the war of words, and we're getting new stuff, but we're getting a lot of the same stuff being said. It's like at this point, yeah, they can say some new stuff, but it's really not meaning anything. It's really not. Like, it's not making any of which team look better than the other. We are what, 27 days from Mania, 26, somewhere around there. Like, at this point, it's like, okay, let's throw this match, in a bag or something like that, and let's go to Philly. Like, at this point, they can take these four guys. I mean, obviously, you can't take Cody, Roman, or Seth off TV, because Seth has still got to build his feud with Drew.
Yes,
Cody and Roman kind of have to build their solo match alone. But realistically, we don't really have to see these guys on TV all together anymore. It's built. We just need to get them to the ring and ring that bell, and let's go.
Mm-hmm. I love this, and I hate it at the same time, because it's building so much into the Roman and Cody feud, but it waters down the Drew and Seth feud so much, because it makes it feel so insignificant to all of this.
I can see that, but in the defense, Drew McIntyre is working very hard to keep that feud relevant.
Yeah.
Well, he's keeping it relevant by starting a proxy feud with CM Punk, which is gonna be amazing when it happens.
I think so too. I mean, I'll say this, like, it's kind of to what Mike had said about the war of words between back and forth between the four of them. It's creating the hype. Obviously, some of the same stuff was said. Some new things were said. I think this was, to me, it was a recovery for what Cody and Seth did on Raw, because that was terrible from both. It didn't make them look good at all. It's more of an image thing right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's how they're looking going into Mania. And if you ask me, like the press conference, Seth looked the worst out of that, because he was being ignored. Like, here's your world heavyweight champion, and he's being ignored. He's left out of this equation. This was before the Drew thing was set in stone, so he looked goofy.
Yeah.
He just was standing there, like, and then what they did on Raw made him look even worse.
Yeah.
And it's been bad for Seth during this whole Rock inclusion of this story. But tonight, I feel like he definitely looked a lot better. A lot better. That was a massive recovery. And for Cody, it was a massive recovery. The slap too, massive recovery. So,
well, there was one thing that made Seth look, and there was one thing missing that did make Seth look better. It's weird, it's odd, but there's one thing that was missing that made Seth look better. That laugh that he does. He didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do it at all. Like, Seth, playtime's over.
Yeah.
The laugh does not help you. I get it. It helped you get to where you're at now, but you don't need it no more. I honestly thought when he was walking down the steps from afar, he looked like he was in his Shield gear. I was like, oh shit.
for a second,
Finally, we're not going to get him in this, outlandish clothing. Like, no, we're getting Seth like in his gear for that he was in the Shield. Like, this is a huge like without it happening to Roman. Like, but yeah, it was pretty much. I thought it was like a slap in the face of Roman if he was wearing it. That's what I'm saying. And then we got the equal slap from Cody to The Rock. But no, you get close up and he's wearing the big jacket and everything like that. But the laugh was the thing that was missing. And Seth, you don't need it. You need to be serious from this point on. You're defending your world title against Drew.
Yeah.
You're in a huge tag match against The Rock and Roman with Cody. Like, dude, if you do not want to be the outcast in either of these situations, the simplest thing that you do that makes you, sorry to say this, I love you, Seth, but sound dumb is that laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this too. It's regarding his wardrobe or whatever. I was kind of going into Friday. I was kind of hoping that he was going to show up in like a suit. He was going to match Cody's energy. Yeah. I mean the main insult that both Roman and Rock keep clowning him about is, oh man, you're wearing your wife's clothes. Oh yeah, look at this cross dresser. Oh, he's a walking clown emoji. They kept saying that. They said Rock said it like twice in this promo.
I know.
He has no new material. He keeps saying the same thing. So that's why I was hoping, I was praying that he would have showed up in a suit like Cody and been like, which I got to say now. You know what I mean? Like,
and I wrote that down in my notes too, of like The Rock saying the same thing. The moment he said the emoji thing, I was like, okay, let's say the same thing we called Seth a week ago. Like, and that's exactly what I was explaining to Sean on Monday on the table spot. It was like, okay, you're entertained by The Rock and what he's doing, but he's saying and doing the same stuff, but you're not entertained by a 3-hour Raw. And there's really no difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that we have action on Raw. We have matches. We have other promos. You don't like that, but you're liking what The Rock is doing, and he's doing all the same thing. Like,
been doing the same thing for 30 years.
And I by all means, I wasn't trying to, insult Sean or anything like that. It was just, I'm making the point of like, dude, this is entertaining you, but a 3-hour Raw can't. And it's, you're looking at the same thing here in a small sense.
Yeah, I completely understand that. So, but yeah, like I said, it was a pretty decent segment. Like I said, I just appreciate the fact that Roman kind of took the lead with this, and Rock didn't really say a whole lot until to like the butt end of this promo, this segment. But overall, pretty decent SmackDown. They've built a lot going towards WrestleMania. Nothing made official, but a lot of things implied for sure on this SmackDown. But gentlemen, that is all I got for you for SmackDown. I know, like, so we got some sports coming up. I know MLB is starting up. I know we have NCAA March Madness coming up in the next week or so. We've got the NBA play-in tournament that's like in mid-April or so. So we got a lot of sports coming up too, and that would also be included in Friday Night Review in future episodes. But now it is time to plug yourself. Jamey, where can we find you?
You can find me on my socials at Jamey Rose X. You can find me living it up on Dynasty Wrestling, color commentating, and making sure that gets put up for you guys. You can find me on Friday Night Review with the boys here on Off the Top Media. Make sure to throw them all the follows, all the loves, and I don't know where I'll pop up next, but dig it. Do
Mike?
I? Or do I don't? I don't really care. He's here gracing us with his presence, and us presents just gotta acknowledge it.
I mean, I'll just say real quick, nostalgia is
Presence.
like an addictive thing. It is. Yeah, sometimes nostalgia, yeah, it gives you that great feeling. But you can only take it to a certain point. And that goes with everything. That doesn't just go with, certain things. That goes with everything. Like, you can only really take it to a certain point when it comes to nostalgia. It's basically you're looking for new stuff from him, because you look at The Rock from back in 99, 2000, he even looks completely different than he did now. Like, he had hair. He was a lot smaller. He wasn't as jacked up. And, like, he looks like a completely different person now. So, yeah, we're going to look for new material as fans. The nostalgia is great, but bring something new to the table.
Mike,
So,
where can we find you?
yeah, as far as, and I'm sorry I went on that last
You're good.
little rant. Yes, Hex, he did. He had hair. Look up The Rock from 99. He had hair. I actually met him back then too. But anyways, Metal Mike 714 all across the socials on Twitch. Twitch channel, I'm gonna start getting up and going hopefully by the end of the month. I just got to figure some stuff out as far as connections with the new TV and everything. But you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat as well. Hit me up on Snapchat, add me, Metal Mike 714. I post videos on there that you don't see anywhere else. As far as shows, you can see me every Monday night on the Table Spot with Cam and Sean at 11:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after Monday Night Raw. On the Boom on Wednesday nights, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Cam and Phil, right after AEW Dynamite. And then every Sunday, you can catch me on Rivet City Red Zone with Johnny H, as we discuss everything in the world of football. And if you can't get into the Red Zone, you can catch me on Rivet City Red Zone's Halftime Heat, which is a 15-minute recorded show that I do with pretty much the news that comes out from Sunday when we go off the air to Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Real quick broadcasting alert, though. Rivet City Red Zone is not happening on Sunday morning. Instead, on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live from 6 to 7 because free agency opens up at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to talk about the signings that happen from 4 to 6 and anything that happens as they're happening live. So no Red Zone on Sunday and no Halftime Heat this week. Red Zone is going to be a special day and time Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So, and you can also, sorry, I have a lot. You can also see my articles on Last Word on Sports. I write Philadelphia Eagles content on Last Word on Sports. My new article is called Landing in the Eagles Nest. It is part one of a two-part article. My thoughts on who I think the Eagles can pick up in free agency.
Yeah, make sure you go check that out, though.
Anything else?
As far as me, he has a lot for sure.
I do. I have a lot.
But go check him out, though, man. He works hard. But as far as me, as far as shows go, you can find me right here every single Friday night with Friday Night Review, immediately following Smackdown with our usual partner, Scows, and of course, Jamey when he's not being Roman Reigns. But anyways, on our sister page, you can find me immediately following Monday Night Raw on Monday nights on Rivet City Radio with the Table Spot with Metalcore Mike and the Alpha Wolf Sean, and of course on Wednesday night with another edition of The Boom immediately following AEW Dynamite. My socials, you can find me on TikTok at Cam's Wrestling Corner. Call me Cam G, and now my new third TikTok page, Cam's Squared Circle Mania. And then on X, you can find me on at Cam and Cheese 317. And if that does not sizzle your bacon. You can find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon, Eggs, and Cam. It's been a while since I've done that. But that's it. As I always say on the boom, this isn't the boom, but I'm going to say it for here on the Friday Night Review. Love, peace, prosperity. Love everybody that came by tonight. And we are out.
So let's go there. Let's make our